So you've just gone and spaffed a load of cash at Samsung for its fresh new Galaxy A56 and you want a whole bunch of tips and tricks on the best hidden features and how to get the most out of this mid-range mofo. Well, either that or you've just run out of Netflix box sets and your next best form of entertainment is watching a bald northern git slowly going out of his mind who spending his entire day locked in a room chatting at a camera. Either way, here's how to set up your Galaxy A56 and some of the best features tucked away inside of OneUI 7 that you really should know about, including, yes, the obligatory AI shenanigans and a whole bunch of camera guff. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now, if this is your first foray into Samsung's OneUI, well, the good news is you've got plenty of great customization options tucked away in here. You'll probably want to start in the settings menu with the wallpaper and style section. You can, of course, quickly and easily change up the wallpaper with any pics that you happen to have shot with the camera or merely downloaded. You can also change up the color palette of the UI and, more importantly, the icons, which I would recommend doing, especially if you find yourself wasting a lot of time on social media, etc. It makes those app icons all a similar hue, less bold and striking, so you're much less likely to be like, oh, I'll just have a quick tap on that, and then 3 hours later, after much doom scrolling, you're like, oh, I forgot to pick my kid up from school. You'll also find some good stuff tucked away in the home screen settings, which allows you to change up the home screen grid, either make it 4x6 or 5x6. You can have apps automatically added to your desktops when they're downloaded, all kinds of stuff. You can also organize your lock screen simply by long pressing on it, then either enter your PIN or scan your thumbprint. From here you can not only change the background, you can also add some widgets just by tapping here. You've got a wide variety you can stick right there on the lock screen, including, for instance, a bit of calendar action. You can also add on a reminder widget if you've got an endless list of to-do tasks, and of course a bit of Samsung Health action if you want to track your steps, etc. I also really like the frame tool, which can jazz up the look and feel of your lock screen to make things a bit more interesting. And you can also change up the shortcuts, which appear at the bottom left and bottom right corners. And don't forget to set the always on display, which allows you to not only check out what the current time is and any notifications that are popping through, but also makes it easier to find that fingerprint sensor. You'll find this again in the settings menu on your Galaxy A56 tucked away in lock screen and AOD. Just make sure that is active. And while you can have the always on display properly always on, I always recommend scheduling it so it's not on overnight when you're asleep anyway. You can set the start and end time, job done. And in these settings, you'll also see something called the Now bar. And the Now bar is the dinky wee pill-shaped thing which pops up on your always on display and on your lock screen, flashing up any pertinent information like upcoming appointments. You've got step-by-step directions if you're using Google Maps, and of course media controls if you're playing something on the likes of Spotify. With the media controls, you can just tap the cover art image in order to bring up full extensive media controls. And if you jump into those Now bar settings, you can see exactly what is allowed to be displayed on the Now bar. As you can see, Map, Samsung Health, Clock, Voice Recorder, Samsung Notes, and Emergency Sharing are all on there by default, as well as the Media Player and the Current Mode. Now, one of the big general UI changes in OneUI 7 is the fact you've now got a split between the Notifications bar and the Control Center. And I quite like this new OneUI setup because you can either see all of your notifications full screen, otherwise you can drag down that Control Center full screen with just a single swipe. You can also swipe between the two, like so. That Control Center absolutely packed to the tits with fantastic features as well, for smart home controls via SmartThings, providing you use SmartThings. Of course, you've got your media control panel and a whole bunch of toggles you can quickly switch on or off with a quick tap. And naturally, it's completely customizable. Just tap the pencil icon up at the top and then hit edit. You can play around with all the various toggles, stick a whole bunch of new stuff in. You can also rearrange all the various other widgets. And hey, if you're not a fan of the whole split notifications control center shenanigans, no worries, you can get it back to the old way of doing things by hitting panel settings and then just tapping together. And speaking of the old way of doing things, the power key, of course, hasn't been the power key for quite some time. It's the side button, and now long pressing it doesn't switch off the phone. It actually brings up Bixby, God forbid. But hey, you no longer have to worry about accidentally waking up Bixby. Ugh. Because what you can do is dive into the settings once again. If you go back to the main settings menu and then go to advanced features and then tap side button, you'll see that we have a choice. A long press, of course, calls up Bixby by default. Let's swap that to the power off menu instead. You can also change what a double press does, be it loading up the camera app or one of your other preferred apps. So now when we long press that side button, we can actually power down the Galaxy A56 rather than having to deal with an assistant who's about as useful as a candy floss condom. The Samsung Blow is also pretty good when it comes to split screen, and what you can do is swipe up from the bottom to enter the recent apps menu, then give the icon of the first app you want to split screen with a quick tap and open in split screen view, and then just select another app you want to open up down below. Et voila, we've now got two apps on the go at once. And you can of course resize the amount of screen space each app gets just by swiping the middle bar there. This is particularly good if you just want to enjoy a bit of YouTube or something up top while also browsing your web, browsing your messages, whatever else. And if you dive into advanced features and then go to multi-window, you can customize the split screen experience. So for instance, you can swipe for split screen, and this allows you to just swipe up with two fingers from the bottom of the screen to immediately open split screen mode, which is a bit less clunky than the other way I just showed you. And while not all apps support split screen mode, you can kind of actually force them to by going into labs, and as you'll see, there's a multi-window for all apps option. Make sure that's toggled on, and then you'll be able to split screen with literally anything you got. Now here's one for any gamers out there if you like to get a bit of weather and waves or whatnot on the go. The old Game Booster tool used to be a bit of a pain in the arse to activate. You had to drag down the notifications bar and tap your way into it like so. But in OneUI 7, Samsung's gaming mode is no longer as awkward and unpleasant as a fumble under the sheets with an unwilling badger. Just drag it out like so from the little side bar bit, which you can see right there. And you've got a small selection of pretty decent features here, including the ability to block the auto brightness, block Bixby, thank God, record the actions, screenshot it. You can also set the necessary performance level from performance if it's something like weather and waves, which is a bit of a memory guzzler, down to battery saver if it's pretty chill. You've also got an FPS and a screen resolution slider. And lastly, you can also drag out various other apps, including a bit of YouTube if you find yourself getting stuck on a particular level. Don't have to quit out of your game or anything, just basically search in here for what you need, whatever level or mission you're stuck on. Hey, maybe you just fancy watching a bit of your uncle's spurt while you're getting your weather and waves on. Actually, that is incredibly awkward. I wouldn't recommend it. Not to mention the fact that the A56 doesn't like gaming by itself, let alone streaming a video at the same time. And also just another quick tip for life in general, don't try and get cozy with a badger no matter the circumstances and how lovely their fur is. It's really rather difficult to explain away the scratches and tiny bites in Casualty without the authorities getting involved. And also a bit of an oldie but a goodie, don't forget about Samsung's modes and routines. You can access these via the control center, and these can be set up in the Galaxy A56's settings menu. Just tap modes and routines. You've got a variety of presets here which you can customize, including my favorite, the sleep mode. It's basically an if this then that setup. So for instance, if a certain condition is met, such as for instance it being a certain time, then the mode can activate. Got a wide variety of conditions to choose from, not just time but also location using GPS, whether you're connected to a certain Wi-Fi network or Bluetooth device, if the battery drops below or hits a certain point, yada yada. And then once that condition is met, then you've got to say what actually happens. So for instance, we can have everything turn grayscale, we can mute all incoming notifications, etc. We can disable the always on display, and if what you want isn't listed there, just tap add action. Again, there's loads of different things you can choose from. It's a good way of automating everything on the Galaxy A56, saves you from having to keep on manually doing the same things over and over again. And of course, as the Galaxy A56 is a Samsung smartphone, it is absolutely stuffed full of AI shenanigans, which you can access by scrolling down to advanced features and then tapping intelligent features up at the top there, although that should change in a future update, so it's in the main settings menu. And this will explain all of the individual AI bits apart from the standard main built into Android stuff, like for instance circle to search, which you can access just by long pressing the nav bar down there at the bottom and then just drawing a circle around whatever it is you want to search for. Pretty handy way of instantly finding a good bit of information on anything that you spot online. And of course you've got a good old Gemini on there as well if you want a bit of AI assistant action. Now, one of the more interesting efforts on here is AI select, which is pretty good if you find, for instance, a picture online that you really want to just quickly set as your wallpaper. Just drag out the edge panel like so. AI select is up there at the top. You can then tap the picture that you want to save as your wallpaper, and then as you'll see there, set as wallpaper is the first option. Give that a wee poke and thy will be done. And you've also got various AI camera and photo editing tools, which we'll bang on about in the next section. Now, Samsung's made a few tweaks and improvements for the camera app in OneUI 7 here on the Galaxy A56. So for instance, a lot of your toggles and features you can quickly access down here at the bottom of the screen now. So if you want to reach up to the top or whatever, so you can quickly knock on the high res mode, bit of 50 meg action. You can adjust the exposure level, stick on the flash, activate the timer, and also turn on motion photo, which is quite useful if you've got cats, kids, stuff what moves about, just helps to bring your gallery to life. And of course, as always, you can access your filters through this wee bar as well, including now the ability to add your own filters on the Galaxy A56. You can create this filter using any photo that you've either taken yourself or downloaded from the internet. So for instance, let's take this Attack on Titan shot. What you want to do is you want to resize the reference area to the part of the photo where you want to sort of draw the color from. So let's do this dude's lovely hair. And this is just giving everything a slightly orangey, yellowy vibe. Otherwise, we go to a completely different photo. As you see there, we've already got a very different vibe. And then if we focus on this green color down here, you'll see that once it ticks through, we've now got a greeny vibe. And with that done, we can then tweak the color temperature, make it colder or warmer. You can tweak the strength of that filter, boost the contrast, change the saturation level, etc. until it's just the way we want it. And of course, you've got all the usual bonus Samsung camera modes slapped on here. So if you know your way around a DSLR or whatever, you know what an ISO level is, for instance, then you can have a good tweak of all of these various bits. You can also play around with the white balance, etc. You've also got the likes of single take on there, all those Samsung bangers. And then say you've taken a photo of your kid, it's a motion photo. Unfortunately, their expression is a bit on the gormless side and they're looking a bit dead behind the eyes or whatever. Well, no worries, just tap this wee pencil icon down below in the gallery app and then tap the 4 dots here in the bottom right corner and you'll see the best face option flash up. This will then give you a bunch of alternative expressions that the Galaxy A56 also captured, so you can find something a bit more appealing, or in this case, psychotic. No worries if none of the suggested expressions are really very appropriate though, just tap View More and you'll have a whole bunch of alternative options you can choose between. So let's go with this one there, slightly less terrifying at least. And of course, as always, you've got the old AI photo editing shenanigans, which can help to remaster your image. You've also, of course, got the old object eraser. If you've got people, stragglers in the background that you just want to ditch entirely. And say you've taken a bit of home video action that's a good couple of minutes long. You want to share it online, but not the whole 2 minutes. You want to just share highlights. Well, no worries. Just open Samsung's Studio app, which is pre-installed on the Galaxy A56, and then tap the auto trim icon down here in the bottom left. And this can cut it down to just the highlights for you to share with friends, family, whatever. And there you have it, my lovelies. There's some nifty wee tips and tricks to have you get started with your spangly new Galaxy A56. Now, did I miss your own favourite features that are stuffed into OneUI 7? Well, definitely clue me in as to what a useless cockwomble I am down in the comments below and let us know what you would have included into this Galaxy A56 tips and tricks guide. Check out my A56 review if you're still on the fence about this mid-range mobile. Please do poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell, yada yada yada, all the YouTube bollocks, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.